Okay, firstly, let me congratulate you on the award for best coach from the Cyprus Football Federation. No doubt it was a great year for you. Apollo won the championship after 16 years. Did it really take a crazy German to do the job, as we quite say here?
Actually, I don't feel like I'm crazy, but of course, I like that there's a relation between me and the fans, and I think it was an intensive and tough year for all of us, also for the crazy German. But at the end, we were successful, and that was the objective.
And what did you expect to find in Apollon team when you first arrived, and what did you really saw a year ago?
Oh, boy, that's a good and difficult question. I had no clear expectation because it was the first time I was a coach from a South European team, and everybody told me it's very emotional, it's very black and white, but it was even more black and white than I expected. At the beginning, I was positively surprised about the possibilities, about the infrastructure. I had no clear overview of the team. Before I came to Apollon, me and Nikos and also Petros, we agreed that this way of playing football is very intensive, and therefore we need a minimum physical availability of the players. So the club changed also very good players because of these high demanding physical game. So after the first weeks, it looks like we need to get adapted a little bit to this physical game. First of all, because of the climatical situation, and secondly, because the players were not completely used to it. I think they adapted it very, very well. But I think there's still a gap between what I expected from a physical point of view and what the players were able to or were willing to. At the end, I think what the players did over the complete season was more than I could have asked for.
This year, everyone says it was a teamwork. Is it right?
I think I'm now 20 years a coach. I think I have a few tools which is creating a team atmosphere, which creates a possibility of a team atmosphere. At the end, it's a players' game. At the end, the players have to make the decision how much they accept to be really a team player. It's so easy to say at the beginning of the season, if you are making a decision, I will always follow a decision. But then you are out for one game, you are out for 2 games. You are substituted in the 3rd game, you are out again in the 4th game. And that is really, really difficult for them, because they are used to play on a high level. So that made it a little bit difficult, but at the end they agreed, they accepted, we will win something as a team, and that's what they did. I think I do not blame one of my players if I say there were some players in the league, maybe some teams in the league, which had the better individual players, but there was no team in the league performing on the same level like we did. Just analyzing some games throughout the regular season where we won games in a row in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes. That was pure teamwork. Don't stop, don't give up, go till the end, and at the final whistle we will analyze, and that's it.
Now let's go to the playoffs. You entered the playoffs with a big point gap, but you managed to retain the lead, but you could not win. How did you feel that time where some fans looked disappointed and wanted more from the team?
Fans looked disappointed after our first game against Silina. I remember the fight between Campos and one of the fans. What I realized pretty soon is that the biggest problem for this club and for this team this year is not the performing throughout the year. It's the missing success in the past. So there are, in general, 2 types of persons and of teams and of clubs and of whatever. Guys who are looking for success, and guys who are afraid of not being successful. And this club was highly related to the second one. Because of these missed championships in the last years, everybody was expecting And this year it will be the same. And it was the same when we were entering the championship. Nobody was talking about very impressive performance so far. 7 points more. But I have to admit, we against the bottom seeded teams, even though I do not see Isle or Omonia as a bottom seeded team, but just the teams in the second part of the tableau. We won 10 games, we draw 1 against Park, and we lost 1 game against Omonia. So we were very stable against these teams fighting against relegation. But we were struggling also throughout the regular season against the top teams. We had 15 points against the teams in the Champions round, and we had at the end 12 points in the championship round. So it was, the difference was not so much. That is for sure something we have to improve for the next season. How to play against these teams who have a lot of individual quality. But it was, of course, I felt that the people around the club and also in the club were more afraid that we are missing something again than that we are able to go for something. And then I think we had a decisive period with the loss against Paphos with my 2 friends waiting in front of the stadium and showing us the middle finger, which they can. Fans are emotional, but at that moment I also decided we will see each other again and then enjoy the party.
That was the most the time with the most pressure, or was it another time when you lost from Paphos?
We had pressure at the beginning of the season when we lost against Silina. We stabilized ourselves throughout the season then, but of course when we were losing against Paphos, it was only 1 point. We draw the next game with the Easter break in between against Anathosis, and then Apoel got the chance to pass us. I mean, in general, there should be no doubt. I think we were 27 games on first position, 26, 27, 28 games. So we are the totally deserved champion as a team, not as a number of individual players, because that makes the difference in modern football. But of course, the game against Paphos was a hit, because people out there, they were looking at the last games and they thought, well, if we win this one, from the beginning they told us, if we win this one and that one, the league was too even. It was a very tough competition this year. It was very difficult to beat teams in general this year. And there we were very good in the first part and not so good in the second part. Even though we lost only in the league the game against Paphos. And if you have a chance, you should grab it. So in Anathosis and in Apoel and in Ike, they are sitting right now and asking themselves, why didn't we become champion? If you got a chance, grab it. Ike was for sure, from the way they played, also with David before, for me the best football team in the league. Apoel had the best individual players, but that is worth nothing in football. You need to make points and you need to be the best team.
What was the feeling when you knew that you got the championship?
It was very, very emotional, but it was also a big relief, because you mentioned it. After the Paphos game, we had a short training camp, which was maybe the turning point also at that time. The next game we draw against Anathosis in the last minute, and then we beat Apoel, which was most likely the game changer. Apoel, I'm quite sure they thought, now we will kill them in their own stadium. They were celebrating once in our stadium when they won against Aris, and we promised each other they will not celebrate in our stadium again. And that's what we did. But then it was pure emotions with traveling to the historical roundabout in Limassol. The fans were waiting there. The boys were jumping on the coach, on the bus. It was very, very, very emotional, and also for me, because it was actually Nikos and Petros brought me with the task win the championship, but I never thought that it could be that difficult with all the circumstances I told you already.
So let's go to the celebrations. Anything that made an impression of you with the fans and everything that happened, all these days of celebrations?
Everything. I mean, it was winning the title 1 week before meant that we have 1 week time to celebrate. And I also told the boys I don't want to see one guy without being drunken in the next 3 days. We have 1 or 2 guys who are not drinking alcohol, like myself as well. So, but the other guys were really, really drunken, and I was a little bit less impressed by the way the guys were celebrating. I thought I got an understanding of what it means for the club and for the city to win this championship, but I had no clue. I just saw it when we got the title. Then I saw what it meant for the people in Limassol. Yeah, they were crying. It was unbelievable.
And speaking of Limassol, how is it? How is life in Limassol 1 year? Do you like Cyprus?
You know, football is the love of my life.
Yeah.
The job as a football coach, I thought when I was quitting my career with my football player career with 34, I guess, I thought I always want to be a football player till the end of my days. Then I started, and the first day as a coach, I thought, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm a born coach. I want to take responsibility. I want to bring people together. I want to make them follow one philosophy. It was the same when I came to Limassol. I wanted to be the best possible coach. So, however, the circumstances around with the beach and with the restaurants and with bringing my 2 little kids daily to the water and going into the mountains and going in the winter skiing and all these circumstances means nothing when you are not successful as a coach. Oh, yeah, I'm not sitting there like with all the respect like other jobs, yeah, where you're starting at 8 o'clock, leaving at 3 o'clock, and then you're totally free of your mind. I always take my job back home, like many other guys as well, like a doctor or whatever. But it was really difficult for me to enjoy life. And this extreme black and white in Cyprus, in Limassol, made it not very easy. And this permanently, and also to the players permanently, and to the president permanently, and to all the other guys, that created a situation where I think everybody felt like we have nothing to win. And if you have nothing to win, it's difficult. Yeah, your brain is blocking. Your freedom is blocking, and we needed to permanently create this situation. Hey guys, we can win something. We don't have nothing to lose because we don't have the championship in our hands. And at the end, because of the openness of the players, I think they were able at one point to say, okay, now we are going for it.
Now, winning a championship created a deal of expectations. What are your first thoughts for next year and the upcoming Champions League? Have you thought of it, or is it too early for
holidays?
Now it's holidays.
That was my first thought, holidays.
Okay.
Now we're, of course, in the plannings, and I think everybody knows that the Champions League qualification is another level, no matter who we are facing. There we need to be very good prepared. We need to find the right players who can really help us, because the most important thing, we are not looking for a big star. We are looking for the players who fit totally in our puzzle. There are also a few players in the Cyprus League. I said it already, that we need a little bit more speed in the defense, also in the strikers. We need a player who permanently wants to be in touch, but also when you saw the performance of Ilyan Ilyev or of Erwin Ogenda in the last game, we have still players who are able to develop. We needed to prepare them physically best possible. Erwin was also injured, but we have these players in the squad, and now we are just looking for the small puzzle pieces. The fans should know that by now. We are not looking for CVs. We are looking for quality.
Lovely. So after the success, did you had any proposal from other teams abroad after this? Any phone calls or anything?
Of course, the combination with training not success, training, to be honest, not successful in the first Bundesliga in Stuttgart, but also being successful in Lipsia or in Brøndby, and now being champion in Cyprus, created something. I think the other managers would make a bad job if they are not looking also to Cyprus, who is training there right now, who won the championship and who is training there right now. But for me right now, it's not a question.
No question. Okay. The new stadium is coming up in a few months up in Colossi. Does this create a new dynamic for Apollo next year and the other Limassolian teams?
I guess yes, definitely. Sirio is connected to winning championships and also was a home for our fans, but I think they are also looking for a real home. It's with a running track around, it's difficult to create an atmosphere, even though at the end it was exploding in the last games. But I think the new stadium will be a real castle, a real fortress for us, which we and our fans will use and also enjoy.
Lovely. Lastly, is there a message you want to send to the Apollon fans?
I think we sent a lot of messages this year. We celebrated together. We were crying together this year. I think the biggest importance is that we trust each other. Football is like some of the fans. When we won the title, they were coming to me and said, "Now we have to go into the Champions League." Football is really difficult. I know you have a lot of demands. You have a lot of expectations. I think you should trust us that we are doing whatever is possible to perform on the highest possible level. But on the other side, there's a team standing, and this is sports. Winning and losing sometimes. Competition. Winning and losing is part of a fair competition. And when we are losing, it's not because we are lazy or not because we don't want to win. It's just part of the game. The other teams in Cyprus, they will fight back. The Empire will strike back. But right now we are the Empire. We are the defending champion, and we will do whatever it needs to be as good as possible. But we have to show the same mentality, the same character. We need to improve our game style. We need to improve our physique. We need to improve our ability to analyze each other. Everybody needs to step on another level. But in my opinion, with this relief, with this lack of pressure, now you have to win it. Now you have to win it. Everybody can benefit out of it. But of course, enjoy still. Somebody told us, me and my wife, because we said now the celebrations are done after last Monday, and they said no, we didn't win the championship for 16 years. Now we are celebrating for 16 days. So continue celebrating. You were really champion of the league also in celebrating this year.